to my channel. Hi, I think I just went live now. Welcome to my channel, and we are here to discuss using Asana for nonprofit leaders. Thanks for joining me on a Friday night. This is fun, and we're going to have an hour together discussing how to use Asana, the basics of Asana, and how to kind of incorporate it into your life for better project management. I wanted to welcome any board members that are watching this and anybody else that's watching this from tonight into the future. And with that, let's get started. Okay, so this is completely live. So I'm just going to keep talking because I have to set up the preview. All right, present. This is like my first time ever doing a live program. So yay for new beginnings and yay for January. Hopefully we make it throughout the year doing these videos, and let's continue. So first part of using Asana is gaining access. And for my board members out there and for anybody using this, I really suggest that you log in using Google. Essentially, when you log in using Google, it integrates with your Drive, it integrates with your calendar, and you are able to just have easy access without having to fill in another password. If you don't want to log in using Google or you don't have a Google account, you can still use your email address as well as password here. Next slide. So when you first log in, you will be brought to a screen like this. And so this is the screen for our nonprofit team, Limitless Ambition. And you can check us out at www.limitlessambition.org. And essentially, this shows all of your tasks. One of the things that I wish I could change is it shows your tasks by due dates, but I can't. So it shows you all of your incomplete tasks pretty much by the newest one created. And so the first thing that I do is I organize my tasks by due date because I just like crossing everything off a to-do list. So if you go to the upper right-hand corner and you click on the down arrow, you can view tasks by due date, and then it brings up everything that's coming up that's next to due. So this was quite a bit ago since we're now in January. And some of the things got crossed off. And one of the things I like about Asana is when you check something off, there's a chance that this like little rainbow unicorn will shoot across the screen. Next, you can also switch to calendar mode by clicking up at the top, and you can see all the due dates by calendar, and it's color-coded too by the task. And then finally, another view is the files. And so this view will show you all the files associated with all the tasks for a Limitless Ambition team that you have access to. All right, so let's do a little mini live demonstration to watch me log into Asana, and we can see how it works together. So you log in. I log in using Google, and everything's already set up for me. Or hopefully it works. Yeah, so while we're logging in, let me just give a little shout out to Limitless Ambition. We help girls dream, believe, and achieve without limits. Check us out. So this is my current Asana dashboard, and we're actually working on our gala pretty recently. And one of the things that I did when I set this up was I gave everything tags. And so that really helps see, okay, what major project is it that we're working on here? And so I wrote don't delete on this because this has a lot of notes that we kind of built up over time. And it's just good to remember not to lose it. You don't lose any of your tasks. You can see all of your tasks. If you click over in the right, you can see all tasks that you have done. If you click over here with this menu bar, you can see the projects that we're working on as well as other team members. So as we can see, Alicia, Letitia, Rue, and I are connected, and then I have to add a few more people. So one thing that we would do is go ahead and add another person. So I'm going to add Tamika Rashid, one of our newest board members, as well as Shalina, another board member on our team. And I'm going to just switch it over just to kind of maintain privacy. So let's see, how do I switch this back over? Turn that off. Yes. All right. So in that little slot, you would just go ahead and put in the email address and click invite. And oh, I have to check the next one there. But we'll go ahead and move forward here because I don't want to waste your time looking for another email in my Gmail. So going back to the screen share. Basically, this is kind of what we're looking at when we log in. So these are the different views as I talked about it up top. And you can see the calendar view, and then you can see the file view. And another way that it breaks down is by projects. So if you click projects, like one of the things is board development, you can kind of see the list view. Then you can see conversations around the projects. And since our governance committee hasn't really met on this yet, we really haven't started discussions here. But you can go ahead and see the calendar view, and here we are tonight doing the virtual Asana training. You can see progress on goals, and so since I'm pretty much talking to myself, we can just kind of see some of the tasks, and I'm doing kind of good, and it's nice seeing a chart too. That feels good. So I can kind of measure our tasks by putting a green for good, yellow for there's probably some worries, red for we're at a critical moment. And so that's also another motivating thing. And then once again, you can see files, which I don't really have any files here. I do have some files that we're working on with our volunteer, Lamia. Hey, Lamia, if you get to see this. So back to our presentation. So that was the first part of getting into Asana and kind of seeing all the different views. One of the first things that I did when I got onto Asana was I personalized it. And you know, personalizing things is a great way to kind of connect with it and start to build it into your life. So you would go up to the top and you would click your photograph, and what will open up is a menu and where you can click my profile settings and then go to your email. And this is where you can set up your messages. Because we'll be talking a lot on this in the future, it's good to kind of say, well, how many emails do I want to get from this? And so I turned off the activity just because I write a lot of notes. So I don't want to see my notes since I already know what I'm writing. But I do have it on for reminders in the dashboard because, you know, it's easy to forget. The next thing that I thought was good was updating your dashboard. We're deep in. All right. So if you updating your dashboard. And so for the free Asana version, you get 3 dashboard cards. And so that just lets you track your task and see what upcoming updates there are and what's going on kind of in a visual overall view. So I chose the annual gala, our annual goals, and board development because those are my most important projects. You might want to choose goals for the committee that you're chairing or whatever special projects you're doing to work on for your small business or nonprofit. And then once you click on one of the cards, this is what you see. You see the progress that you're making on your task. And this was quite some time ago, back in December. So I'm working on it. So one of the main things that you're going to want to do on Asana is add new tasks. And so to do that, you click onto your projects. And so here we are back in board development. And you just click add task and it opens up a list and you type whatever the task may be. Or you can add the task where the card opens. So that's 2 options to do it there. With this option, you can also add details to the task as well as assign a team member, assign a due date, favorite the task if it's something that's terribly important. Add tags to the task to kind of separate it out. And one of the tags I like to use is aligning it to our strategic goals. Like, where does this fit with our strategic goals? And that really helps me say, yes, I'm on task with our mission ahead of us. This button here is basically to break down tasks and go ahead and add in smaller steps if needed. And this is to attach files. I'm not sure, I don't remember what this is for, but we'll explore that in a second when we go back to the live demo. Another important part besides adding tasks is conversations. So Asana really wants to set out to get rid of emails around projects. We should just be talking directly in the projects. So basically, I think this is really important when we have meetings together, or if you think of small notes along your projects, instead of emailing a person, add it to the project itself. That way all team members can be involved. So 6 tips for recommended use of Asana. Update due dates often, because it can be very discouraging if you've done something but you didn't check it off, and it's like you haven't done it, but you know you have. And when you do update the due dates, it's really motivating to see what progress you're making or not making and can act on. Write meeting notes directly into Asana. Asana also has an app, so it's a great way to kind of just jot down notes according to projects so that all the team members can be informed without you having to worry about having to email them later. Talk and share with others on email. I'm not exactly sure what I meant by that, but we'll come back if I think about it. Okay, so the next one is incorporate it into your weekly system. So Asana is not going to replace your to-do list. It's not going to replace your calendar. It's just another tool, and I really see it more as a tool for the team to-do list. So wherever you're working on group projects or with others, and you really want to make sure you're talking to them, use Asana as your team to-do list, and whatever your current system is for getting things done, focus on that, because really that's the most important. Asana is meant to make projects easier for your team. And so that really goes back to the bullet points before. If there's something that you think there's more than one person that needs to be involved in this conversation, and put it on Asana. Don't keep it in your notes, or don't just have the conversation with the other person and kind of forgetting about it. Think, this is a place for Asana. So whenever you're talking to your committee members or to your other board members, and you're like, wow, other people should know that because it relates to such and such project, add it to Asana as opposed to putting it in the email, because it's less likely to get lost because it's associated with this project. And then finally, Asana is made for progress, not perfection. So essentially, notes are going to get messy in Asana. I really see it more, and maybe it won't, eventually we'll start to develop a system, because we're just incorporating this now, where we really have a shared way of completing projects, but completing projects is progress. So if you're jotting a quick note, or if you think it's not a complete thought and it's not perfect for the air, put it in Asana. If you have a rough draft that you want to share with everybody, put it in Asana, because essentially it's for us to share so that we can take the next step forward. So I really strongly recommend use of it. I like it so far, and actually we can move on back to the live demonstration of some of the features that I like about it. Didn't I already have this open? I did. Okay, so features that I like about it is that you can create your projects pretty easily, that you can color code your projects, and so it color codes this here, that the conversations, of course, and one of the things I like is that you can tag people in conversations. So like, hey, Alicia, have you picked up any business cards? Any new business cards? And so you would tag her by just writing an @ there. right? I think I did that. Alicia Robinson. Okay, it used to work. Let's see. I think because I've already tagged her, she will be automatically notified. So that's fine. But essentially, it's good stuff. So let's continue forward with other parts of Asana that you want to consider. Besides working with your team, you can also create other Asana groups. If you can also add just specific members to specific projects. So some people are part of some projects, like Alicia and I are discussing here. Eventually, I'd like to add all the board members here. The annual gala has Letitia, Alicia, and I, because we're all discussing it together, and we're moving it forward. And essentially, we're breaking things down like that. So that pretty much sums up the basics of Asana. If there's any questions out there, is there any questions? Is anybody watching right now? We're live, but 0. That's okay, because it's still going to be posted on YouTube for everyone to see in the future. Yeah, so I think we're just going to wrap that up with our Asana demonstration. So now this was really to discuss for our nonprofit board. And one of the things that we want to consider are what policies should we incorporate as board leaders for developing the use of Asana? And then how should we determine who gets access to Asana and when to remove a person from having access? So that's something that you might want to consider as you have your board discussions about the use and incorporation of a tool like Asana. And there are other tools like out there. And if you and your small business are using any other tools, or if you want to share anything, please let me know. So let's get out of here and just kind of wrap it up. All right, so thank you for joining me for the review of Asana for project management. That is a very basic system, and of course we can get deeper into project management itself and what does that mean and developing those goals. And one of the things that I'm doing tomorrow is discussing how to process your projects and to really create a system out of it. And I think Asana is a great tool to do that. If that doesn't work for you, then please let me know. I would love to know other suggestions for what nonprofit board members are using out there. But it's free, so if you're a startup nonprofit like we are and growing and developing slowly but surely, make sure you're using every available resource for you, and I think Asana is a great one. So thanks for joining me on this Friday or whatever day, and have a great weekend. Bye.